Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody gave me some kind words and they figured out how to do this by my videos and they did a great job. He's concerned about the font and I don't know if this is going to be printed or not. And on his files page, he has a white outline and that would help. But if my suggestion, and you can see it's a hairline, maybe go up a step. And maybe that's too much. Let's go, I've never done this before, 0.005. And just make it kind of stand out a little bit. Same thing on the name, and that actually looks pretty good at 0.007. And just go through here and change it and make sure you change them all. If I would come up from the bottom and select those and go 0.007, and then just, I don't know how, how this going to be printed. And if we look at it, it's eight inches. It's pretty big, so it needs to kind of stand out. But since he asked to kind of critique it, this is the center of the logo. Well, first of all, it's fuzzy. Second of all, the police is eaten up in the graphic. This is really easy, well, kind of easy to draw. And I've already done it. I'll send you this file. I need to get rid of that hairline. There we go. And you can see now the police is not eaten up in the letters, and it's a vector file, so it's good and sharp and clean. And it's so big a graphic, it's loading up my computer. But I really think the white background, I'm going to move this out of the way, and let's go up to Object Group and ungroup it, and then let's get everything else out of the way. You can select all those guns. And then if we take this and put a hairline around it, and then make it white, and then move it over, see how it makes it kind of stand out more quite a bit. But the guns and the shield are pretty remarkable. I mean, they're he did a great job. Handcuffs, you could maybe redraw that. I don't know. I don't know anything about printing, but I would think this is a must. So what we're going to do, we're going to move this over, and it's right on top, so we're good. And what I'm going to do first, this is the old one. I'm going to make a duplicate and move it over. You know what? I don't need to move it that far. Let's go, just remember the 9. So we're going to make a duplicate because the 9 is where it's going to get back. I am going to left click. Well, it's a bitmap, so I'm going to trace it. Outline, trace, clip art. Doesn't take just a second. And let's move that over. And see, that's a lot better, but it's got all the effects to it. So I'm going to left click, right click. And we're going to use some of these parts. See, there's like a double line there. So let's go up to Object and Group and ungroup it. Let's get rid of that line. And let's get rid of that. See, this is left over from the trace. Get rid of these double lines. They're really on the outside, so it's not going to really matter. Well, this one is because it's on the inside. Whoop. Kind of hard to tell which line is which. And it'd almost be easier maybe just make a triangle. Well, let's just get rid of the lines and we'll straighten this up. Okay, let's take the triangle and let's move it over. Well, let's delete that. Let's go to Well, there we go. So the outer triangle, well, I must have got rid of the outer triangle. So we could make a new triangle, and this is the bit, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's put that back. Whoop, put that back. And we need to make an outer triangle. So I'm just going to take the triangle tool, take the polygon. It'll draw it upside down. I'm going to go polygon 3-sided, and I'm going to start from the bottom and just kind of maybe hold down the control button, kind of get it close to the size. And because it's red, we'll be able to see it. And we need to be right there. And you can see it's bring this down, bring this in, and bring that down. So now we got a triangle, and it's sharp and crisp. So this is actually going to be the gray part. So let's go ahead and use gray. Tell you what, let's use that gray that they're using. And let's move it over. So my triangle's not big enough. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the triangle, holding down the shift key, and it'll grow from the outside. And it doesn't do it perfectly. So we're going to have to move it down a little bit. I just remember the 4.05 nudge. That's too much. Let's go 0.02 nudge and just nudge this down a little bit. Now we actually need to, well, that's right, because the other part. Now, there's a line across here that's blue. So we're going to take a rectangle and just kind of make a line. And for the one I'm doing it for, I'll send you the file, but please look at it and change it and do what I'm doing. 5273 was the batch number. I'm going to go and get a font that's close. I'm going to use Impact. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to make it about that size. It's pretty close to the font. And if for the one I'm doing this, trying to help, I'm going to stretch. I don't normally like stretching fonts, but in this case, trying to match it, and then we'll move that. Whoop. We'll set our nudge factor back on 4. Take that black and nudge it over. Now, the just all caps. And go up to change it back to Impact. Put it on top of our text. And then we're going to make it bigger. Just trying to kind of match. Then we're going to stretch it out. And then we're going to nudge it over. And now we're going to write police. And what I'm going to do, since I've got that size, I'm going to make a duplicate of it, move it over here, go up to my text editor, and just delete all that. And well, if you could spell. Police. And then put it on top of the police. Now this is the part we're going to have to kind of adjust, but I think it'll work. So we're going to make that police quite a bit. It's about that size. Well, you know what? We changed that. I'm going to go back to the font, which, okay, we'll check the font 30.856, 30.856, and let's just spread it out a little bit. Now let's move that over. See, but that's going to interfere with our line like the original, which I didn't like. So what we're going to do, we're going to change our nudge factor 0.02. We're going to grab our fonts and just move them up a little bit. I think that'll look better anyway. Well, there's a line there. It's going to be, so I've got, this is missing an outside line. This is a gray. This is going to be black. we're going to have to make our text a little bit smaller. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and have it grow from the inside out. That way you can get everything in. Now we're going to go ahead and do the blue. And I think on the original, I'm going to move this. Normally I don't move stuff. I nudge it, but that's the bitmap. So I'm going to take the 5 and go left click, right click and outline. And I'm going to grab that blue eyedropper. And then I'm going to go between there and get the blue line. Now I'm going to take away this box. And then I can fill in the numbers in that gray. I'm going to go ahead and use that gray. Now you'd want to probably take away the outline. So I'm going to select it. Well, it doesn't look like it has an outline, but I'm going to take the outline away. There we go. So now you just have the letters. Now, this part, I guess it's New Jersey, maybe. It is in gray, or it's actually in black, but we don't have any way to stop that. So we need to redo this triangle. You kind of make it look. Let me look at that. I don't know what I did with my real one. Oh, it's still on the, see what I did there? I think it looks just as good, if not, I know it's going to look better. So we need to, we're going to go ahead and fill in, this is in gray. So we're going to fill that in and move it over. Change our nudge factor. That's why it's so important to remember what nudge you're at. And then there's a little bitty click part of between the end. Now we need to make another, so that black isn't really a triangle, it's this part is a triangle. And that's where it ate into the word police. So I don't like that. So what we're going to do, and this is kind of like hand doing it, I'm going to select both those. I'm going to group them together. I'm going to double shift on the text or the box, the rectangle tool. I'm going to go up to object and convert it to a curve. And then I can move nodes. So we're going to go straight up first. And then we're going to click off of them and just get one and try to mimic that line. Now we're a little bit high. And if I was doing it for real, I'd probably just mirror it. Now we can grab both these nodes and come down a little bit. But that kind of changes our angle of our triangle. So see what I'm doing? I'm making that black part. So I'm a little bit too tall up top. So I'm going to select both these nodes and holding down the shift key, or the control key, sorry. So have it come in. But when I do that, well, that looks pretty good. I actually need to probably move that in a little bit. Then we're going to do the same thing. Well, we don't have to for the black. Let's see how this works. Let's take a Smart Fill tool, set on gray, and let's go ahead and fill in all the parts. And if I didn't say it before, he did a great job on this. I really like people that try. And then I'm going to get the black, and let's keep our fingers crossed that this is going to work. So the outside is black, and that's black. And then we need to fill in a little bit of black right there. And there you have now I would clean up maybe the NJ, and then I think this department has an outline, so I'm going to take the outline away. Well, you know what? Maybe it just looks like that. I know nothing about printing. from a distance, it looks like there's an outline. And I'm going to call that good. I mean, look at the difference of the quality of the text. Fuzzy. I mean, look right in there. Can't hardly tell what's going on. And if you look at that same spot in mine, you're going to have a clean graphic. Now, because we've nudged, and if you remember, we nudged 9 at first, we could take, we don't have to now, but I'd group this together, Control G, and nudge it over twice. Well, evidently I changed it to 4, somewhere deal. But I'm going to send you this file. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you this file plus this. Okay, I got rid of something there. No, maybe didn't. But, you know, as far as he wanted on the text, I think the white background, or just have white font. I know nothing about printing. I really like how he did the flowers. But see, they're a little pixelated. I don't know about printing and what that's going to look like. You know, this you probably can't do anything with. The flowers you could probably clean up very easily. But he did a good contour where the background shows. That's pretty cool. I'd use a little bit darker gray, evidently, on this one than I did on that one. But I'll send you this file. But don't use it unless you really like it, and try to mimic what I did. And I'm going to hit F4 and see there's still some stuff on the board. I'm going to delete, because you've got that, and this way the file won't be so big. But that's beautiful. Hope that helped Tim a little bit, and thank you for watching.